Hope everybody's doing well. Um, Fun day today in DR world, at least for me. And so let's talk about it. Chart looks a little different. I'll tell you why in a second. But we had a 30 plus point range today, so knew we'd have some action from a DR perspective. And we closed. We set the range at 10:30. The next candle did the same thing we did yesterday, where it actually went up in the in between IDR and DR, and it's kind of it closed there, but we didn't confirm DR here. All right, so came back down. Now again, if you're being adventurous, you can actually, these are trades you can take. You can look for, like here there was a fair value gap you could have looked at. So there's some things that you could have done if you're trying to look at different ways to trade. But again, we're doing pure DR, which is what we're trying to do. We'd have any confirmations high here, right? So price went all the way down to got about 2/3 of the range, and then started its work its way back up. Now, if you're an ICT, you might call it something like this a Judas swing, but for our testing purposes, it's just waiting for the confirmation, either high or low, right? So if you look at where we are, and this box becomes important in a second, just to kind of draw your eyes to something. But if you think about this, like we didn't actually confirm until afternoon, right after 12 o'clock, and so so we had an hour and a half of just waiting for confirmation. Okay, so if you get impatient, then you might take a trade and it might not work out well for you, right? So, but one thing with DR for me, it gives me a lot of patience because I know at some point it's going to confirm, and if it doesn't, then I'm not supposed to trade that day. All right. So if you look at this this box here, this box is 41.77, and it closed at 41.82. That's 5 points. Okay, and the bottom of the box is right on this IDR low, IDR high line. Then it goes up 5 points, and then stop loss would be down here at 41.72. Okay. So, and these flags are up here because I was listening to some reggae music earlier, and I'm a Jamaican, so got to represent. So anyway, so these are the 5 trades I took today. That's what these flags represent. Okay, and so let's talk about them, and they're all the same trade. That's the crazy part. Okay, so price goes up, confirms, right? Retraces like we wanted to, and then it comes all the way down to this fair value gap here. It moves back up. Now at this point, my order is on this IDR low line or IDR high line, okay? And it gets picked up here, and it goes up 5 points. We're out of the trade, right? So that's number one. Okay, so then price comes back down again, goes back down below IDR high. So I'm putting another order on right here on IDR high. Comes back up, gets picked up, another 5 points. Right, easy. Okay, and then price goes up to this this yellow line represents that 41.85, like 75, which we started noticing was just kind of that the point in the trade or point in price where price would start rejecting off of that line. All right, so you see it tried it a bunch of times to get up there, and then just kept rejecting off of that. Right, so far we're at 2 trades. Again, same exact trade, 41.77 to 41.82. All right, comes back down again. All right, so we had this long trade coming down, comes down below IDR, IDR high. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but my next trade, my order is right here. Gets picked up, comes back up 5 points. That's all I was doing today, right? Because once I got to this 41.85, you notice that it just keeps getting rejected off of that. So I wasn't going to take the chance of trying to do a 10-point trade, knowing that I didn't have room here for that to happen. So until it broke that, I wasn't interested in trying to move my trade up to 10 points. Okay, so I'm doing 5, 5, 5. I'm doing fine, just doing 5 points. And these are ES trades. Okay, so now this green candle is interesting, and I almost took this trade because this was another 5 points. But and remember what I said yesterday? If you watched that video, like I need the price to come down below that rung on my ladder, that DR rung. So in this case, the IDR high. I need to come down to move back up. In this case, it just touched it and moved back up. It didn't come down below it and then move. So I didn't take that trade because, again, my rule, or what I try to go for, is I want to come down below and then move back up. So didn't take this trade. It was still another 5-point trade. Price comes back down again, starts to move back up. I grab it again, put my order right here, right, same trade. Put order on IDR high, and there's my 5 points. And this one, I could have stretched this out, but again, I had something that was working, so I wasn't going to mess with it too much. All right, so another 5 points there, and then price goes up, gets that same 41.85, comes back down again, comes down right below IDR high, and into there's actually a fair value gap here. So the order's placed right there again, and then that's your the final 5 points of the afternoon. Now I did not take this trade. This was the expansion trade, right? So he actually broke through that 41.85, and why I didn't take it was because price didn't come down below that IDR line. It didn't even come down below the DR line, right? So there's no onus for me to take that trade. I fully expected price to move up, right? That's what normally happens, especially end of the month. Either we get a big move up or a big move down. But I figured it was going to go up because of how we kept beating our head against this rejection point, resistance point, and at some point it has to break through that. So I did not take this trade at all, and I was perfectly fine with that, right? So 5 solid trades today, very easy. Order in, pick up, 5 points, I'm out. No muss, no fuss, as they say. Now here's something interesting. Okay, so a buddy of mine in one of my groups, and he doesn't do DR, right? He just does a lot of ICT and some other things. Really good trader. He was taking the opposite of the move I was making, right? So when price came here, for instance, like I had taken this trade up, right? He had taken this trade down, right? So, and then price comes down, I take the trade up, he takes this trade down. And we were doing just that. It was like, like he was selling and I was buying. That's what it felt like. So same thing here, price comes down, he's taking this trade down, I'm taking the trade back up. And then we do it one more time just for fun. Price comes down here again, and I take the trade back up. So, there's always multiple ways to trade the market, especially with this. This is a range, for lack of a better word, right? Because, price is only moving but so much. Okay, and so once you do that, you can figure out like when to get in versus when to get out. Right, so I could have just put another line here, use that as my support line to get in. But from a DR perspective, again, I have my rungs on my ladder that I use, so I know what I want to see, and as soon as I see them, I'm good to take that trade. If I miss, then I miss. So what I will say is, so this week, I started trading this on Wednesday. So for Wednesday to today, we didn't have any losses. Now we had some drawdown. Okay, we had some serious drawdown where my 5 point stop was down. My stop loss is at 250, cash wise. So that's 5 points, $50 a point. That's 250, and I've gotten down to minus 200 a couple times, and it turns even a little more than that actually. It turns around and it shoots back up. So the last 3 days we haven't had any stop outs, which has been awesome. So IDR is doing what it's supposed to do for at least for me and how I trade it with my 1, 2, 3 ladder strategy. So anyway, hope this was helpful. A fun day if you unless you were trying to like hold something for a long time. This was a truly a scalper's day. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Okay, so you guys have a phenomenal weekend. Oh, I did post a picture of the ODR session, the London session from this morning. That was another 5-pointer. I think I told folks I would do that one because I wanted to get up and watch the Formula One race, the practice anyway. So did that one. So that's it was a very simple 1, 2, 3 trade. So that one's it's on the community tab if you haven't seen it. If you want to look at that one. But again, so really just a great day and really a great week. So again, guys, have a great weekend. Appreciate all the support. Keep asking questions, and we'll keep seeing how we can make sure you can be successful with really a simple strategy. especially for those of us that are working 9 to 5s. All right, that's it, guys. Have a great one. Talk to you later.